Welcome to Marsh Creek Outdoors. This past January, we were able to spend time with Tom Shire and Justin Kohn of All Seasons Adventures. Please join us now as Tom and Justin give us advice on jigging for lake trout on Big Green Lake. Hi, I'm Bob Webster. On this episode, we're going to be jigging for lake trout on Big Green Lake in Green Lake County, Wisconsin. On my left is Justin Kohn, and on my right is Tom Shire. They're the co-owners of All Season Adventures. Now, Tom, I understand that you also own a bait and tackle company?
Yeah, the company name is Southway Bait Sales, and we manufacture about 27 different products. But the two products today that we're going to use is what we call the Amazing China Bait that will jig for lake trout. Even though we're not going to tip up fish today, we'll demonstrate our Flagle bait rig, and that's used for any game fish that you are after.
That's a fish right there, the color in the line, and it's about 2 feet off the bottom. There's another fish right below it coming off the bottom. You'll see my jig going down on the right side in the wide column. And we're in 121 feet of water, so it takes a little while to get down there. Now both of those fish are together at 119 feet. One fish just went to the bottom. Now this is my jig coming down here at 100 feet. We're zoomed in on the bottom 20 feet over here. And both the fish are gone. See my jig bouncing up and down? That's a fish right underneath it. Sometimes when they come up on me like that, I'll just take it away from them about 3 turns, and they'll come up a little bit faster.
And then normally they will hit that.
Sometimes they'll hit that. Coming back up again. He's a curious trout. There's a lot of them that'll chase you up and down like that and not bite. But we have a lot of different lures here that we'll be showing them today. Fish is coming up fast again. Yeah, there's this thing. Another fish underneath him. Yeah, he's being goofy. We got to show a lot of different trout, a lot of different lures, and eventually you get a couple to go.
A lot of times too, when they're tentative like that, it's not a bad idea to change your jigging strategy. Rip it, pop it, just leave it set, and more or less dead stick it. Depends on what that fish wants at that time. And it's interesting too, throughout the day, the fish seem to change what they want, and they'll be biting heavy on one lure. All of a sudden they change, and for whatever reason they want another lure, another style.
Yeah, that's true, Bob. It changes a lot throughout the day. Every day you'll have a hot hour where fish are going to bite about anything, but otherwise they always show interest in one certain lure over another, depending on the time of the day. And every day is different, so we have to show them a lot of different techniques. It's almost like it's on simulator mode.
We'll show you later, but Justin and also myself are a big fan of when trout fishing, adding anise scent. Justin usually uses the paste. I carry the liquid with me. No matter what I'm fishing, I'll put liquid anise on my hands. It covers the smell of gas, your sandwich, your potato chips, whatever other odor you might have, and the fish seem to enjoy it. So. Tom Shire is also the owner of Southway Bait Sales. Watch now as he demonstrates the amazing China bait. This is a fantastic bait that can be used year-round.
Hello, I'm Tom Shire, owner of Southway Bait Sales. We have a trademark product here called the Amazing China Bait. This particular bait comes in a small container and it has an 1 inch by 3 roll. What we're doing with this product today is using a buckshot rattle jig, and we're tipping the lure with the Amazing China bait. After the bait becomes moist, it becomes fluid in motion, and we'll show you that in the hole. The term China bait originated from the China River project by Fairbanks, Alaska. We use many different tipping products. One is cut bait of the whitefish that we jig for out here. But the China bait does become fluid in motion, and it's naturally scented. And we've had good success with it. So we're going to get it down there now, and we have a couple fish that keep coming into our depth finder, so we'll see if we can hook them.
It's important too to watch over here for any marks coming in on the wide zoom. There'll be multiple trout cruising 50 to 80 feet under the ice and 120 feet of water. Those are normally the most aggressive fish. If you can get your lure in front of them immediately, you will catch one. The majority of the fish do crawl on the bottom. One coming up to my lure real fast there, and he went back down immediately. So I'm going to hit bottom and try to tease it away from him, see if he'll come up. There is a fish right tight to the bottom there, the way that bottom's moving.
There he is.
Fish on. Fish on. Keep coming. Keep reeling. Keep reeling. Reel, 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 reel. There you go.
And again, this particular is a buckshot rattle jig tipped with our Amazing China bait.
He's a fighter. Right now the fish that you're fighting is still at 60 feet, so you got him halfway in.
And my drag is going, so
yeah.
Turn him a little bit. He ain't that big. I can get him moving here.
There's another fish down there too, right underneath my jig. So that one hit right on the bottom, huh, Tom?
Right on the bottom. Had to tease them a little bit.
So I'm gonna get the transducer out of the hole now that it's getting close to the surface. And get ready to grab this fish.
And you have to be patient with them. You force them to the hole.
They will fight a little bit at the hole.
And he is going to kick. And it's approximately 22 inches.
It's a nice fish. That's me. Yeah. We have a little tangle here coming up the hole, but you'll have that when you have 120 feet of line out. That's a nice lake trout. The legal size limit's 17 inches here on Big Green Lake, and this one's probably 22, 23. So you might want to just give it 2 cranks up, Bob, just to try to stay up on top of that fish. They do like to go up. At the same time he went down.
What we have going on right now is just fish coming through at various levels. So it's more or less a game of moving your lure up and down, trying different jigging techniques, just seeing what you can do to get them to come in and bite it.
I'm going to switch rods. Try.
Justin, we touched earlier on using a variety of different lures. Could you go through and name for us a few different ones and what the different characteristics of them are?
Well, we use a pretty good variety of lures. Every day there's different trout with different attitudes, so we like to show them a lot of different stuff throughout the day. And some days one lure will work better than the others, but there's about 5 of them that are pretty consistent. Any Rapala looking lures, tube jigs. Tube jigs can do the trick. Sometimes just a plain jig with cut bait on it too, moving a little bit slower. Sometimes that'll trigger a couple fish into biting. It's a lot of fish that come in, and we always think we got to try something else. But I don't care what you throw at them. If they're not going to bite, they're just going to chase. It's the natural way that the trout are. They like to chase. They're very curious. So you just got to stick it out with the lures that you're confident in, and eventually you get a couple to bite, you know. Some days they're not real fussy, and those are the days we can catch 15 to 20 trout a day, and they'll eat about anything you have in front of them. But for the most part, it's a game that you have to play with them, like you said, going up and down in the water column, trying to trigger one into not only chasing at a distance, but committing to biting it as well. I've brought trout up from the bottom in 120 feet of water to just teasing them up the water column to 20 feet below the ice where you can see them looking at your lure in the past. So they will follow it a long ways. This one coming up pretty good. Oh, I had him. And when they do bite, you don't want to miss them.